My friends, I'm excited greeting you here. We are entering the conclusion of the year. It's exciting. I want to really, right off the bat, celebrate you. If you're watching this, I know, like you see, it's getting dark a little bit here in Europe, and I'm really excited that you take time to spend it with me. Maybe you watch this, 10 minutes, or you listen to it somewhere on a podcast, or you've seen it as a part of a training. I want to thank you because we need to learn to thank ourselves and celebrate ourselves. And as my ex-partner from Fit Fun Life company that I created a couple of years ago used to say, or still says probably, you got to be your own cheerleader. And I feel like in this world where we can drag those days just because we don't see the progress so quickly, we need to really get not down on ourselves, but get really up and climb the hilltop. And for that, we need reminders. We need those colors bring in our life more light, more enthusiasm. And I want to really today cover a topic that might be a little bit challenging because many of us now, especially like myself, have been in the tech for the past 10 years and in marketing and at agencies. You really see that there's this hoopla of, especially now in tech, the layoffs. But I mean, it's always, the industry always goes through busts and cycles. One thing that I want to talk to you guys today, which is a huge topic, is what to do when you do a wrong career choice and how to course correct. For many of you, and myself included, in my early years, and I still, make a lot of mistakes. I'm a work in progress like all of you, but I feel like if you haven't watched the video, which will come out and came out in different shapes and form about passion, enthusiasm, and integrity, I would inspire you and maybe even motivate you and encourage you to watch that one because that's something you will need anyway. As a precursor to kind of dealing with being in a wrong function, perhaps even in a wrong company. And if you're really interested in this topic, I would encourage you to sign up for the Positive Leader Tribe, which is a from monthly kind of leadership type of content, but paired and flared with growth, leadership topics, and wellness topics to build a well-rounded leader. Part of this, you will get also the expert corner where with my friend Timmy Orath. And for those, if you're watching this, Timmy, a high five to you. Timmy is an incredible human being and also C-level executive who actually started her own business. And we shot this series on self-leadership, team leadership, and organizational leadership. And funny enough, now on the organizational leadership, we talked a lot about integrity and why is it the key and core ingredient for companies to succeed and for teams to succeed. So if you're interested in this topic, please reach out. You can watch the video that I've suggested, which probably you will find here or in a podcast. Or if you're interested in these topics and want to get a little bit behind the scenes, then please reach out or click the link below. But now remember, if you are in a wrong career, remember to always stay professional. Many people, I've seen it in my career, people I hired, they freak out or they make they silently quit. And I don't say this is there are always reasons for it, right? There is things going wrong many times in many organizations. Sometimes you get into a team and the team is really annoying, or you don't really resonate. Ideally, you clear this out before you actually get aboard. So now you have a lot of elaborative and extended hiring practices. Often my mindset was hire, mindset first and skills second, because skills you can always learn. But if people have the right mindset and they want to learn and they want to, get better, but ideally you get the right balance in there. But remember, if you are really in a wrong role, obviously if you're in your 6 months, I mean, I don't have to tell you, I'm not HR, but you can obviously probably decide and really quickly turn it around. If you're in an organization a little bit longer and you start noticing, hey, I don't think this really works out, remember always to think about, are there some lessons that you can learn? I recently actually talked to my my own coach, Deborah Gemmel. Deborah, if you're watching this, I want to give you a high five as well. Deborah is an incredible human being, and with more than 30 years in corporate. But I would encourage you as well to what Deborah said. Are there any lessons that you still should learn, not on a skill level, because that's obviously a work in progress, but on a personal level, on an organizational level, what is that job teaching you about yourself? Should you be maybe more patient? Do you like to quit really quickly and then jump to the next job, or should you actually resonate a little bit more with the team, be more a listener, because you always wanna, what is it in it for me, instead of asking what other people actually want and being a servant leader. If you're interested in this topic particularly, I would encourage you to read a book from Adam Grant, Give and Take. It's incredible take on all this notion of what it means to be a giver, what it means to be a matcher, and what it means to be a taker. And also another book that I'm reading right now from Adam Grant is Think Again. And I think this could give you another notion and feeling for how to be a good, decent leader. So why I'm talking about this is because in terms of for you to really realize that you are in the right opportunity, in a good job, or in a right environment, you need to take care a lot about yourself. That means you need to understand, are you making the same mistakes all over again, like Einstein says, and that's a definition of insanity, or is it really the environment that is poisonous? So when you start distilling these two, then you can really quickly figure out, okay, what is the next step. So I would encourage you really go back, rewatch maybe some of these videos that I'm should hear, because that's a lot about self-leadership. But I'm flavoring more and more of these team leadership topic. You can also listen to the podcast that I call the Positive Podcast or Shots of Inspiration. You can get more of topics there on Spotify or all your favorite players, and really dial that down. But if you find yourself in a sticky situation, let's call it like that, and you really chose the wrong profession, and you feel like it's really the environment, it's probably what Timmy would say. Timmy Oroth, she would say, you got to pull out. We all had these experiences that we work for an agency or we work for a company which wasn't good. We weren't a fit. It was just not the right environment, and we maybe neglected those early signals when we were introduced. Just because we were under pressure, we needed to meet the paycheck. We needed to make sure that the bills get paid, and it's all good and right. But if you can, please think long term. Even if you need to really meet the deadline for your bills and know that everything is really stressful right now, but many of you out there are not in this situation. Many of you are there, and they are. You might be afraid to actually switch because you know how much effort it is to find a new job. But for others, it is actually the opposite. Finding a job is easy, but remaining in a job is quite a challenge. So I would encourage you to really assess, what did you do? What were the steps? Why did you join in the first place? And why is it not working for you right now? And the second is really, it depends, of course, as well. Are you a team leader? Are you a director? Is it your own company that you created and you cannot escape? So there are also different situations that you will find yourself in, and different complexities. If you have to negotiate contracts with the clients, and you suddenly, maybe because of the shift in the company, you suddenly inherit 5-10 accounts, and you need to learn everything, and you don't like to do that, you like to do something else. Remember, there's always something for us to learn, just like for me to learn that my little collar here is actually keeps escaping. But it's warm. So I want to really encourage you. If you struggle, please reach out. I'm more than happy to chat as well, because this is a very sensitive situation, and I went through a couple of these myself, and I hired quite extensive teams and built different teams. And I think optimism and, like I said, enthusiasm and integrity are always very good to have. So remember, these are the foundations. And then when you want to go to the next level, then obviously you need to go into the details. You need to start figuring out what to do. So I hope this helped you. This is a little bit to flavor it into your day. Remember, sometimes you need to take the hard decisions and say, okay, I'm out of it. Always think about yourself. Even, there is this saying that when people join organizations, they do it because of themselves. I mean, Simon Sinek, I think, talks about this concept of why. And you need to think about yourself. You need to think that this is a long-term perspective. And ideally, you find a job you really love and you don't have to work any other day of your life because it's your passion. But for many people, 99%, this is not the case, just because they have to pay the bills and maybe they make some strategic choices because of where they live. So again, you can always change. Remember, you can always change. Don't be afraid. Make hard choices and be smart. And I'm looking forward to see you soon again.